And welcome to GrownFolks Live, everyone. It has been way too long. I have been busy. It's my busy season at work. My guy Poohty has been busy. Speaking of which, let's bring him in. The guy, the myth, the legend, the man, Mr. Poohty. How you doing this morning, buddy?
Oh man, I'm doing great since I'm off on Friday. It's nice to have a day off during the week and not have 500 things I have to do. This is the first day I've had like that, and it feels like 2 months. So I'm doing great. How about you, man?
All right, we got to bring Poohty back. Something happened here. Let me try this. Okay, make sure Poohty's back. Yes, there he is. There's the man right there. We're using Discord for the first time to capture video. And if you're part of the OMFL or if you've watched any of my streams, you've heard me cry and pitch a fit about my poor... I'm so embarrassed by this, but I say it not as a brag because it is not a brag. I'm embarrassed by it to say like how terrible technology can be. This is a $4,000 computer that I invested in 2 years ago, y'all. At the beginning of COVID, I bought this laptop, the biggest Mac laptop at the time, and Apple did this thing. I know that y'all do it. Y'all have admitted to doing it for the iPhones, and I know you've done it to my Mac. This is an Intel-based Mac, not their new silicone-based, which is their own processor, and they sent out an update about a month ago, Poohty, that has quadrupled the CPU space that it takes to run any program. And so now this thing is running at max capacity. It's running hot 24/7. You know why? Because they want me to go buy one of those new silicone-based Macs. And guess what, Apple? I want to buy one. I can't afford it right now. So we're running at max capacity. And poor Poohty has this weird thing. I'm giving all these disclaimers so you guys are patient with us, but he's got this weird thing that we haven't figured out yet. He's got a brand new gaming PC, high-powered, awesome machine, but there's something that doesn't like his audio, and it skips every now and then. And so we're still trying to figure that out. But I'm glad to be back with my guy. I love this man like a brother, but we've both been terribly busy and have not had to do one of our shows. Poohty, let's start off with a brand new game, because you know me, you'll play the same games forever. I'm itching for something new. I'm like a crack fiend. I need something new in my life. the finals, the beta has dropped overwhelmingly. Now, there's not a ton of people playing it. A couple of creators. Some creators are waiting for the game to drop because it's supposed to drop pretty soon. But overwhelmingly, the news seems to be positive. People are seeming to enjoy it. High TTK, they want that to come down. They want to see a few other adjustments. It is in beta, but overall, people like it. You and I got to play a ton with Mr. Kevin. What are your thoughts about the finals?
Well, first, like you said, the TTK is too high. It's just ridiculous. That definitely needs to be adjusted. One of the things that kind of strikes me about the beta, above all else, is there's a lot of destruction. Like the whole entire world can be destroyed. These are devs from Battlefield, so they brought that idea over to their game. Having a destructible world, which I think is a great aspect of a game because it kind of can change how the map plays out throughout the match. But you have all this destruction, you have lots of action going on constantly, and I did not notice any lagging, any rubber banding, any hiccuping, and very few bugs in the beta that I have noticed. When you go to do something, it does it. It works. It functions. It does what it should. So on that line of it, I feel like it's really well polished right now to be a beta. To me, it seems like it's ready for release. That's just in that aspect, because so many games nowadays come out, they're buggy. They've got all kinds of problems. You can't get, now they did have a problem with people not being able to connect to servers, but that's because they were being overloaded. And that was part of the beta test, was to get that rush of people in so they could see how to handle that volume. And they figured that out, and that seems to be fixed now. But other than that, I mean, most of the time when you're playing a game like that has that much destruction going on, you kind of expect you're going to have some stuff lagging here, some stuff not, functioning quite right, slow in for a minute, but it is really smooth. Gameplay is super, super smooth. That's a beta, so I'm really impressed with it.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. It's totally different. We were very clear, for the people that were talking in chat about it. It's like, it's not going to replace that tactical team shooter. That is not what this is. Now, there's some strategy, like you have to be tactical in a completely different way. But this is like a fun run and gun, completely different format, completely different kind of rush. Like the point isn't to be the last team standing, but it's like, I need to win this round, and then it's going to send me to a second round, then a third round, and now it's just going to be a handful of us, and the different roles, and a lot of like Apex. It's like Apex met Battlefield met Call of Duty, sort of, and like some of the slide canceling situations. And so it's like those three came together and made this really different, neat game. And I'm fine with that. Like, I don't know that anything will ever totally replace a PUBG unless somebody comes out with a super intense, super realistic tactical shooter, which it feels like those tend to go to PC. I mean, you're more of a PC gamer than I am. Those tend to stay over in PC. We don't get a lot of those on PlayStation 5. And so because of that, I think PUBG will always have its place, especially in this group who like that real serious, realistic, tactical team battle royale shooter. And then there's just like the fun things that you want to mix in, a Call of Duty, a Finals, an Apex, or whatever, right? Just something to mix it up every now and then to play something a little bit different. And I think the Finals is well on their way. What are the things that you'd like to see them improve outside of TTK?
Really, that was my main issue with it, was the TTK. The other thing is, like, when your team, so you have a team of 3, if your entire team gets wiped out, nobody can respawn for like 30 seconds or so. I think that's a little long.
Yeah.
Maybe 15 seconds. They should drop that down. Those are really the only two real, as far as, like you said, based on what this game is, knowing what it is. I think they've got the rest of it pretty well polished. just going in and working on lowering TTK and the time that your team is kind of tie out from respawning. Because like when you die, you have like a 10 or 15 second wait before you can respawn, as long as one of your teammates is alive. But you can wait that 10 seconds and then all of your teammates die, then you're waiting another 30.
Yeah.
It's a little much. So lower that down. And, other than, I mean, it's a small area, so you're not working, not that small. It still has a pretty good amount of space, but you're working in a fairly small area, and everything seems to work and run smooth, and that's what you want in a game, especially in multiplayer online. I did read that some people were complaining that they had heard that the announcers of the game are actually AI, and somehow people were upset by that. Personally, I think it's cool, and I think when you're playing this, because the idea of it is game show, right? Your team is in a game show trying to reach the finals, and you have these two announcers who are announcing things that are going on throughout the match. And I think it does go with that. It kind of gives you the feel in the show and how to announce something else going on. Guy. I really don't know where there was an or that earth week that people find that AI doing it. I'm like, so I mean, in my opinion, a gaming company is smart to use AI in a sense like that, because it's not affecting gameplay, but it's adding to the immersion. So
it's a great use of AI. Cool. I think like Madden and all those sports games like that. Again, they use those games kind of use real humans, but if you could figure out a way, like AI can do that now. The AI can almost do anything. It's like it was the perfect use of AI, because it just feels like someone's really calling your game. It feels like someone's really there calling it. It was super, super cool. Yeah. I'm excited to see the real drop. And then my biggest question is replayability. Like, what is keeping me coming back to the game? Because I could see it getting old. Like, I can see it kind of wearing down and be like, okay, we've done this 18 times. What's next? And so, is it maps? Is it format? Is it other new roles that are getting rolled out? Is it new weapons? I don't know what it is, but I'm interested in what is the replayability in this game, because that's going to be the big question for me. Let's touch on NCAA really quick. Oh, I just pressed something that I don't think I wanted to press. Let me make sure that Poohty T's still here. And no, he's still here. No, you're still here. I moved you a while ago, and I realized that no one else could see you. It's because I was trying to center you on my screen. I was like, oh yeah, the way I capture him, he's got to stay over there. So I had to put you back. Let's talk really quick, because I know this isn't your like cup of tea anymore. But NCAA, some news dropped this week that it is fully on go. They expect it to drop this next summer. Everything seems to be in line. They are collecting tons of assets. They're putting a lot of resources into the dynasty mode. I'm really excited to see what they give us when it comes to online dynasty mode, some type of league. And the old school connectivity between NCAA and Madden, is that back? That is something that excites me about the potential of starting an NCAA league, having a Madden league, having some shared players, but being able to share those draft classes. And you could literally watch a player go from being a freshman in college to being a Hall of Famer who retires from your league in Madden. That would be... like, that's a whole different level of engagement, a whole different level of being able to connect the dots and what is the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it right now, but it's like it's pulling you in. It's like, man, that keeps you connected. It's good to hear that it's finally coming here. It feels like they have built this game from the ground up. They're clearly going to use the same model game engine of Madden, probably going to share a lot. Like, they're not going to go rebuild all that from scratch, but it isn't just a copy cut paste of Madden is what they're saying. Who knows until we get our hands on the game. NCAA excite you at all? Are you an NCAA guy? Did you play it back in the day?
In my youngest, I played it, but as I got older, I kind of I don't watch NCAA football. I've not watched it for a long time. It seems like, and I don't remember when this happened, but they used to call balls close to NFL ball. It was a college. And then started to the PO and the offices seemed it didn't stick for me. When I was thing was all that was all us, and this thing whatever 10 it's that turn or not. So actually I didn't see them a long time with that. I don't always draft fall when you team on the ball field just three batteries every second ring ball. Kind of quit watching a long time ago. So I've not really kept up with a lot, but if they're not doing copy and paste for Madden, I think that would be best for the game, of course. I did play some back in the day, and it was really cool to see all the colleges on there, even the smaller colleges.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of them, you can play at your favorite college and run their team and have a dynasty. So I do think in that aspect for the fans of that's going to be really cool to have that back. Because it's been gone for what 5, 6, 7 years now. So I think that there'll be a lot of people excited when it comes out next year. So I think that's a good thing. And like you said, if you're able to take a senior class from that game and instantly import it in an easy fashion to your Madden league, that would be really cool. Then you could have two things going on, simultaneously, and you wouldn't have to create a draft class.
Yeah.
You would actually have one from your other league, which I think that's a really cool.
With real players, because all these players are going to have their real names in the game, and so now it'll be generated players after a couple seasons, but still, it's a really cool way to do it. I have one problem with NCAA, and only one. And that's the fanboys. The fanboys of NCAA annoy the hell out of me. They just act like it was the best game ever to hit the market and it was flawless. And it wasn't. It had tons of flaws. It was the college game, I think, will always be a little bit cheesier because it's going to be option. It's going to be pitch. It's going to be shotgun. It's going to be these weird gimmicky plays. That's just what it is in NCAA. The transfer portal and recruiting and how people can steal your players. It's always going to be, to me, a cheese mode, but it is fun. There is the engagement in that game with the music and the chants, and there's something special about it. I will play in it. We will have a league going, and it should be a ton of fun, and I'm just ready for it to drop because I'm sick of hearing these fanboys talk about PUBG. Poohty T, you have been trying to get WarZone Wednesdays going, and we had a good kind of first showing, and then last week, not so much, or I should say this week, not so much. Let's try to make a pitch for Call of Duty WarZone Wednesdays. You're trying to get this to come back. Warzone's in a funky place, though, right now. It's not... People already have their eye on the new game, which I think drops sometime in December, and so we're at the end of a cycle. Some people hate Warzone. There's this weird thing about Warzone. So pitch Warzone Wednesdays and what we're doing.
Well, just trying to re-advertise the Call of Duty chat, and I don't have the actual game Call of Duty. I want to have free ones. So I thought, try to do a little way, try to get people involved. Actually, there's two we did not know. We had full team, but we only had one team. This past week I did it, and literally no one showed up. So after 45 minutes, I just jumped over to PUBG because I was like, I don't mind playing solo sometimes, but
yeah, it's not fun.
Didn't really want to play solo.
I showed up, but I was 10 minutes late. So
yeah, it's fine. And so we're just trying to revitalize it. And honestly, I'm doing it until the middle of this month. So we've got 2 more Wednesdays to do it. People who don't show up and don't even not even active in the chat, you're getting removed. You're getting removed from the chat. I'm just going to be honest with you. Don't join a chat if you're not going to be active. There's no point in it. We don't just want a chat full of a bunch of numbers. We want chats full of people who are actively playing games, so that other people who are actively playing those same games can find people to play with instead of just randoms. That's the whole point of our community. So I'm just telling you flat out, if you're in the Call of Duty chat, if you've not been active, if you're not showing up, you don't just have to show up to the WarZone Wednesday, but you can be active throughout the week and say, hey guys, I'm playing. Is anyone out there? Use the tag, try to see if anyone's playing. Draw attention to the fact that you're playing. If you've not been active in the chat for a month, you're getting removed. If you want to come back, you're welcome to. You can go to the roles chat, click on the icon, but don't do it unless you're actually going to be active. It's kind of pointless to do, really. So I just encourage people to be active in the things that you're doing. Let other people know that you're active so that you can actually team up with people. There's a lot of great people in our community. A lot of them you probably never played with before. You probably would enjoy it if you did. So, listen, I want to encourage people to stop being wallflowers and hanging out on the wall and not doing anything. Like, participate, be active. So we'll do it for a few more weekends, or a few more Wednesdays. And I think, I could be wrong, but from what I read, I think the WarZone will be dropping a week or two after Call of Duty 3, or Modern Warfare 3 comes out, which is next week. So it may be by the end of the month, the new.
And then we'll probably see another spike, another spike in Warzone after that.
Yeah, because there's a new map coming, I think, and stuff. So, but yeah, I just encourage you to just be active in whatever group you've joined in the community. Be active in it. Don't just join it and never do anything, because we don't have a need for that. It's not helping anyone. So.
You will get the El Buto for Mr. Poohty if you're not active. He has no problem doing that. I meant to tell you, a bird said in chat, the finals, he wouldn't know about it because it won't work for him, which was weird. It sounded like a few people got that glitch. Let's talk about PUBG. There's not a ton to talk about because, as you were saying, they did do a big stream, but it hasn't fully been translated. But you did hear a couple of things, including a new map. Tell us about this new map. When's this thing coming out, and what are we expecting with it? Big map, small map, medium map?
Big map. I think it's an 8x8. It's I believe on consoles it's coming out like the middle of December. I don't know the exact date. I think like December 16th maybe or something. It's going to have a lot of bamboo, it appears. So it looks like there'll be like a bamboo forest that you go through. It's definitely an Asian map. I kind of have high hopes that it may be a good map because the last few maps that they released I've really enjoyed. Diego, Destin, both of those are kind of up there with some of my more favorite maps now. Aaron Girl's still the best, but I really like those maps. So the last few big maps that they've done, I've enjoyed. So I feel like it'll probably be a good map overall. They haven't really released a lot of information on it other than the name of it, which is Rondo. So we'll just have to wait and see. I feel like near the end of this month, the next few weeks, we'll get more information on it because they will push that out to the PC test servers, I think, the last week of this month. So there'll be information coming out more about it before that. So I think in the next few weeks we'll find out more about the map, and I'm sure it'll have its different things. I'm expecting some type of like toxic gas or toxic fluid because they gave out these like hazmat suits as a reward for doing something, dealing with that map. And basically all it was telling you the name of the map. So that makes me feel like there's going to be some type of added thing in that nature. Outside of that, they haven't really said much, so I don't know. The dev talk today that came out like 3 o'clock this morning or something was all in Korean, so no one's had time to translate it. But basically, they were talking about gun balance. They're planning on doing that. Curious about what they had to say to that. And they had their anti-cheat team come on I don't know if they're going to have any anti-cheat update for console because they don't seem to care about console. They did recently do an update for the anti-cheat for the PC version, but it was only for ranked. And basically, you had to use your phone to verify who you were, so you couldn't just have multiple accounts, I guess. Other than that, that's all they were really going to talk about. So they didn't really give any good updates on like Unreal Engine 5, how the progress is going with that,
I'm
or anything like that.
amazed
So,
how a multi-billion-dollar company can't hire even a small crew a year ago, 2 years ago, to start working on Unreal Engine 5. Like, you're a multi-billion with a B company. What in the
yeah,
world are we doing?
they dropped the ball, man. They dropped the ball. I really think that they should have focused on that before they even went free to play. Because a lot of people, when they went free to play, played the game. I played with randoms at that time, and they were laughing at the graphics. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I know. But the gameplay is awesome, and that's what keeps anyone who's been playing it. That's what keeps you there is the gameplay. It's not the graphics.
Yeah, it's the gunplay. They have the
But
best gunplay.
yeah, but you don't get that chance to make that first impression again. So
Yeah.
they didn't keep a lot of those people who joined when it first went free to play because the graphics are bad and the skill gap is huge. It's the toughest game I've ever played as a shooter to try to get a handle on. And so a lot of people saw the bad graphics and were getting started and was like, screw this game.
Yeah.
Okay? So I don't think they really retained that many people when it free to play as it have had they had some other options in there. But
Yeah, you have a small window to keep brand new people. I'll even say something that might be controversial. I enjoy like no Call of Duty loadouts. I'd even enjoy no package drops. Just like whatever loot is on the ground, that is what you get. And like, let's see the last team that's standing. I know that some of their maps, they've gotten like those stupid, like I hate those 19 crates that drop in certain. It's like, come on, like what are we doing here? Like the point of the game is like, let's go with the loot that you find. So hopefully we get good news. I have no aspirations that they will ever drop a brand new engine. I would say, because you and I have talked about this a ton on this show over the last couple of months, more and more and more people are making games. I feel like every day on YouTube, I'm getting a suggestion of a content creator introducing a new shooter that they just found out. Now, a lot of them, almost all of them, start on PC. I'm not a coder. I'm not a game developer. My assumption is it is just easier to start there than it is to port over and start with like a PlayStation, Xbox style game. But some of them make the jump, not all of them do. But the more games that get created, I hope will push some of these bigger studios to start giving us what we're asking for, because we have not had a super realistic shooter in quite some time. Two quick things. One, you know a lot about that I am totally not interested in, but I can't even tell you the name of it. But the game with the robotic arms and all but what is this thing? When is it coming out? I know you're super pumped about it.
it's also good. It's the only new battle royale that I know that is coming out. And they keep saying that it's coming out this year, but they're also supposed to be doing a beta, which they have not announced yet. And I honestly think we'll get news soon that it's going to be delayed to early next year. I don't think you can put a beta out in the middle or the end of November and still launch the game with any fixes that you got from your feedback. I don't think you can do that in a month. So I don't believe it's actually coming out this year. They still
But
stand
it's
by
a
and by
weird mixture
anyway.
of a battle royale and story mode sort of all at the same time.
Yeah, so it is a battle royale game, and they are trying to add a boost to that genre. And instead of it being a stupid extraction game called battle royale, it's not. But it has 60 hours of a storyline that you can when you drop into the battle royale. I guess there are certain places you can go to do a mission, and those missions will have cutscenes, just like your offline games do. Now, when their CEO was talking about it, he said that they were working on a system to where if you're doing one of those missions and you're in a cut and you kill a battle that's doing the battle royale that's not in a mission. But when you're actually trying to complete your missions, like you're in the game, you've exited the cutscene. Your missions that you're trying to complete now, people who are in the battle royale can kill you and ruin that mission and your match, basically. So you have that option if you want to go check out the storyline part, and I guess you get different rewards, I'm sure, for doing that. So that's one different aspect of it, which I think is kind of neat. And they said, it starts off with 60 hours of storyline, but then as they add new seasons, more will be added to that. So I think it's kind of a neat twist. If you want to go that route, you can, but you don't have to. Another twist that they have on it is, as they said, there will be like this tower in the center of the map, I guess, and teams can try to get to this tower. To have three missions to get that tower, them to the tower. You have all the and you set the control room. If your team does that, then your team actually gets to select where the final circle will. Now they do this, but I'm like, if a team doesn't get there by a certain amount of time, then the game will just automatically pick where the final circle goes, because he said in the dev talk, the CEO said that the circle will not start closing until a team reaches that controller and initiates it. But then he said the zone will start to close really fast. So I feel like what will happen is you will have free reign of most of the map up until a certain point. Either a team triggers that, or there's a timer that is set. No, just got me yet. Fade, these are moving, pushing together. I think that's kind of neat. Thing as far as morale goes. Your team has to risk a lot, because even when you're doing those missions to get to that tower again, other teams can still kill you. So you have that, and then another part of it is you will find these, they're called hex boxes, throughout your map. Like whenever you play a map, there are extraction. This has really confused a lot of people in their Discord. I've seen so many people saying this is an extraction game. It's not an extraction game. You find these hex boxes, and there's these areas that you go to extract the box that you found out of the map. And you have this wallet on an app. There you can decode the box, basically find what is in it. And it could be a different arm attachment, because your player basically has fake arms and legs. So they're like metal, robotic arms and legs. Each have their own different functions or abilities. If you think of in terms of like Apex characters, you select a character and they have their own ability as well. The thought that they had with this game is you have your own character and you can change their abilities based on the arms or legs that you put on them in the match. So you can extract something out, and then whatever you have in your inventory in your hideout, you can actually have, there's 3D printers in the game that you can go to, and I guess you put a token in that you earn through gameplay, and you can have it 3D printed in the game and then use that item in that match, in just that match. So it's kind of an
this is where the game lost me right
twist. Well, all right. So this is the best way I can think of. If you think about WarZone, you have the buy stations, right? And you go to a buy station, and you can call in one of your loadout weapons, or you can call in, UAV so you can use, or one of those other special items. It's kind of along that same line. You're going to, it's not called a buy station, but you're going to an area that you call in an item for you to use to help you in that match. So that's kind of, I think that's the correlation of what they just want to do a different take on the buy station.
Yeah.
So it's a little different in that aspect, but I think it's along that same.
They haven't really announced, right?
They're claiming they're still coming out in 2023.
They might do a finals.
Well, a month and a half now.
You and I were talking about the finals, and literally it felt like the next day, all of a sudden, bam, it was like, it's coming out. Here's the beta. And it was like, whoa, wait, what? So they might drop one of those types of situations.
They could. The only thing is, they haven't really had a beta at all. The finals had a beta back
Yeah,
in
you're right.
February, March of this year.
You're right.
So they had all that time to work on things, and then they had brought up
But they
this
sort of had like a
really polished
closed
beta.
beta, right?
Uh,
Because they had some
yeah, it
content
was, but
creators playing it.
it wasn't hard to get into because I got into it, and I didn't do anything special. You just signed up.
There you go.
But I just don't like as much as they're trying to do in this game. I don't think that they can just put a beta out and then have it ready to go 3 weeks. So I'm expecting it. What I expect
delayed,
if anything comes out this year, it may come out in what do they call it? Pre or early access on
Early
PC.
access, yeah.
That might happen by the end of the year, and then it comes out on consoles in full release. February or March of next year. That's my honest take, but we'll see. I think they've got a lot of good possibilities there. But we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, it's on Unreal Engine 5. It's only going to be on the newer consoles, so it won't be being held back by past gen consoles. So in that aspect, I think it has a lot of potential. But we'll
NCAA as well. They're doing the same thing, which is good. It's good to see games starting to do that.
Yeah. It's time. I mean, we've only got four more years before they're done consoles. So
Jesus, crazy to think that way.
you gotta drop the other consoles, man.
Well, let's land this plane. I got one more thing I want to pitch at you, just as something to chew on. First, I'm giving you some homework. You gotta go do some searches. We gotta find out why this echoes here. I have no clue. It might be on my end, but I don't know. It just does it with you. Everybody else, it seems to work fine. It comes and goes. But there's a game next time we're able to do a show I want to talk about. It's called The Day Before. I don't think it's coming to PlayStation 5 or Xbox. I think it's just a PC only game. So maybe we'll spend it. It is coming? Oh, okay. This is a game that has caused a lot of waves. We can talk about it next time because a lot of people thought this was fake. They dropped a trailer, 2-3 years ago. They got into a lawsuit about their name. They won the lawsuit. A ton of information dropped this week. They're supposed to be releasing in early access in December, and they are saying early access is going to last 6 months. A lot of content creators think it's probably more like a year or two early access before the real game drops. But anyway, it should be an interesting game. It feels like it's probably going to be some type of open world extraction shooter situation. Think The Division. So we can talk about that next time. My pitch to you, though, is I got you on camera now. You got a light. You got a gaming PC. I'll send you a capture card. We got to get you start to stream with your face on camera.
I want to see that.
Yes, we see it right now. We see it right now. Everyone sees you. Everyone every day sees you at work. I got Big Hurt. He's on camera. We got Maniac making content. We got Cincyberg doing content. I got my guy Shocks making content. Now we got to get Poohty T and this beautiful long beard on here. Hopefully both of us will get more time. I know my year's starting to land. I'm going to get a ton of more time off. Hopefully we can do a lot more of these throughout the year as we wrap it up. Close it out with one final thought as we end things and I go get me a haircut.
Well, again, I just encourage everyone, if you're in the community, step outside of your comfort zone, play with some other people, check out some of our other groups. We would like to have these other groups more active. The golf group's been doing pretty well. That we got started, and we've got these other groups, but they're worthless if no one's active in them. So I know people have busy lives, but if you're going to hop on a game and we have a group for it, go in the chat and be like, "Yo,
so
I'm
much
looking
more
to play
fun.
this. Anyone around?" I don't know, but I don't know how other people. I can play with total randoms, but I don't like it. It's not as much fun.
And I can't play solos.
Yeah, so, finding other people to play with, getting to know them through playing, it just makes it funner. I mean, all around, it's just a better experience for everyone, and that's what the community's for. So I just encourage you, if you're going to play, man, just go out and just let people know, hey, I'm playing. Is anyone around? Someone else may have some free time, like, yeah, let me hop on with you, and It would just be good to see these other chats more active. If they're not active, we're just going to get rid of them. So, because if they're not active, you're kind of telling us you don't really care about it. So if you don't care about it, why do we have it? So just be more active.
Shout out to our guy Bird. He is out in the mountains putting in that work with his wifey Pooh. It's just him and the wife out in the mountains. So my guy's going to come back wore out, and you could have put a pause right there if you wanted to. But hopefully Bird will come back and play with us because we miss him. But he's out in the mountains. But thanks for joining us in chat, guys. Thanks for hanging out with Poohty T and I. I love doing these. His schedule, he has to work some Fridays, so it's hard for us to figure it out. But I think we'll have more and more of these as we come to the end of years. I get a little bit more time off, and hopefully his year starts to quiet down a little bit. Remember, Jesus loves you. We love you. Take care of others. Take care of yourself. We'll see you in the next one, all right? Peace.
Later.